started. So again, thanks for everybody coming out, and I'm glad you all got the word about our change of venue here. To start with,
Here's a microphone.
That side up. Okay. For now, we'll turn the time over to Carl. Can we get to Shireen first? Oh, Shireen is first, I guess. Come on in. They're streaming that, so just speak into that.
Okay, sounds good. All right. So
when she's done, we'll turn it over to Carl, so I don't have to traverse.
Do it again. Okay. Welcome. I was just asked to tell you a little bit about our place. This is called Sage and Plow. You know that because you came in, but we did this for 25 years or so out of our garage. And in July, we moved into this place because the garage got a little bit too crowded. So we started out with food storage. It kind of evolved from there into several different, we do a lot of fresh produce, which is not out right now because we put it away at 6 o'clock. Fresh produce, fresh meat. The repeat customers that kept coming were people that used this food every day. They would buy bulk, but they were using it. So they wanted, other options as well. So we started bringing, so we're not entirely only food storage, but food storage was how we started out. We have a lot of like herbs and things to do, some more self-healing on this end over here. This whole back section right here is what we call our bargain barn. A lot of warehouses know that we can move a lot of product quickly if it's priced right. So we get things pennies on the dollar, and we end up selling them to you for a few more pennies on the dollar, and it's a great deal for both of us. So our whole back section here is just kind of random, random stuff. A lot of it still fits within our health food, kind of our healthier, parameter, but a lot of it doesn't. So, feel free to wander over there if you want to. We are going to start putting in a whole lot more equipment now that we have more room, putting in more emergency equipment, I should say. So we'll have, cooking pots, we'll have camp stoves, we'll have, anything and everything fun that comes my way, I'll put out there. I know we've got some solar, little solar generators coming in, things like that. So we'll have a lot of that kind of stuff over in this end over here. But feel free to wander. We'll stay open for you guys as late as you're here, and we're just thrilled to have you here filling up our space. So thank you so much.
Carl, let's give Mel a moment.
Okay. Thank you, Shireen.
Thank you.
Thank you, Shireen.
Well, hello, everybody. I'm Mel Parks, the president of Utah VHF Society. And for those of you who came to our swap meet, how many came last Saturday? Thank you for coming. I just wanted to make a plug for the VHF Society. Just so you know, the VHF Society maintains and operates all of the repeaters in the Intermountain Intertie system. How many use the Intertie system? We want everybody to use it. It's a free system to use. You don't have to be a member to use it. And it now has a connection all the way down to Phoenix. So you can talk all the way into Phoenix. You can talk up into Boise, Idaho. And there is a link into Montana, but that's a special deal we have to bring up special. But I just want to show you what our members did last year. Just so you know, our members are the ones that pay their dues and give us the money to support all these repeaters. There's about 30 or 40 of them that are active, and we spent $31,000 of your money supporting all of these repeaters, and it was through the members who did that and supported us. If you are a member and you're here tonight, I've got the annual book. If you're not a member, membership is $20 for a year, and if you'd like to join, you're welcome to. And we did something unusual at the swap meet this year. I work at the University of Utah, and my department decided to buy 5 3D printers. And my boss told me, if you know anybody else that wants to use them, let us know, and we'll only charge them the cost of the materials. So we made these up, and they're little plates that have your call sign. And the interesting question was, it says licensed in 2020. When were you licensed? Do you remember? Some of us old people don't remember when we got our license. But if you do, we would like you to get one. They're only $10. And instead of charging the shipping, I can just bring them back next month. And I'll work with Noji so you don't have to pay cash. Noji can work the Venmo program where you can pay through Venmo. And I'll be back next month and bring any that you order. We also made a bunch of little call signs that you can put on your desk or your shack, wherever you want to put them. And these are only $750. So that's my sales pitch for tonight. And I just want to thank everybody for using our system and supporting it. Thank you for your time, and I appreciate it. I'll be in the back after the meeting if you'd like to come and talk to me about any of these items.
Thanks, Mel. I was there. 4.5 hours I was there. Sold all my antennas.
We bought a couple of
I know, you bought a couple. That was good. I had 8 of them sold before I even walked in the door. So appreciate that. Are you running this computer? No. Am I? Who's running it? You. Oh, I don't know what's next. I think that's Lunch Bunch, Savory Thai, Center Street, Orem, on the 13th. I didn't even know about this. So somebody was asking on the net about it last night. Also, next, this is the big one. June 1st, 10 a.m. to 2, Highland Glen Park. That's up near Lone Peak High School. We've got a venue up there that we had been doing the last few years. Noji always sets up a go-to station, and we always have drawings there, giveaways. That's how we pay for it. It's been a 7-6 tradition for some years. I do barbecue chicken. It's potluck otherwise, and we have a good turnout for that event. So come out and, this replaces, don't let some lame family reunion get in the way of your calendar event. Get it on your calendar so it doesn't get bumped off. And that's been the mantra the last few years on this, because everybody comes up and says, oh, you put it on a weekend when I had a family reunion. Well, we juggle around every other weekend, and it's always somebody else complaining. So anyway, it's about a month earlier than it was last year, so it won't be so hot up there. We try to do it at the beginning of June. There wasn't anything else on here, right? I'm not doing the state of the club this time, so you don't have to hear me anymore.
Doing state of the club, or state of the club?
No, Noji missed it. That was actually pretty good. Yeah, and we need to get with the board and get that on a yearly basis every March. And get that voted in and do the state of the club, whether it's me or somebody else.
We'll pray about it.
Okay. Michelle, you're up next.
Yeah, I'm up, Carl. Okay, activities that are coming up.
I was sitting here a minute ago.
Oh, crap.
I know, he sold your spot, didn't he? Okay, Summerfield Day we've got coming up in June. I'm actually working on the permits. I should have them either by the end of the week or first of next week. We need one more RV to help out, one more trailer. We've got Chad in ours. We've got Carl's. We need one more. So any volunteers, get it with me or Noji, if you want, if you can help out having a station in there.
We need people to help drive.
We need
to up
the comms
communication,
and porta potties.
and the go-to trailer.
The go-to trailer. So we need those people to help. If you can help out, reach out in the next couple of club meetings, or reach out to me or Noji.
I can drive in there.
Yeah, hey, one down.
One down, 2 to go.
Easily a half-ton can pull any of that stuff we need to have pulled.
Yeah,
It's easy, yeah.
really super easy. We can get you addresses where the porta potties are going to be, where the go-to is, and where the comms are going to be at. So Field Day is an awesome day to come up. If you haven't been up, it's a great way to get onto the radios. We are having a potluck. I'll get the sign-up sheet up on in the first beginning of June. We are having hamburgers and hot dogs. So it's going to be a good one. We're going to have our big grill up there to cook those. Right?
Me?
Yeah, I'm looking at you. Yes.
Yes, dear.
May I make a comment?
Yeah.
I've been a visitor to your field day a number of times, and I've visited a lot of field day sites all over the state of Utah, and you guys have the best, by far, field day site of any group I've seen in the state of Utah.
So
That's why UVARC mentions us in their letter.
Yeah, I noticed
They finished second 2 years in a row.
yeah, they are going to try to beat us again. So no, we need to keep our #1 status. So Ham Radio Fair, Thursday, July 18th at Pheasant Brook Park in Linden. It's for those that don't come out to Field Day. We're doing this so you guys can get back on the air and enjoy that airtime. It's also where we can get out and see what people have done with antennas and stuff like that. So those are just some of the activities that we've got coming up. But Field Day is one of the funnest events that we have, and it's big camp out for everybody. So, yeah.
We might need a volunteer to bring Brett up. He needs a ride because he doesn't know how to get to Field Day.
Yeah, we need to get Brett to a Field Day just so I can pick on him some more.
A basketball tournament that weekend, and these people just will not let it go.
For the last 5 years.
Okay,
Wait,
service.
No, the last 4 years, no. This
Where's
last
Carolyn?
year, yes.
Or Carol?
I don't know.
Don't know. So you want to skip that one?
Oh, no, I can do Karen's.
Karen's, yeah. Okay. No G. And I.
Hello, everybody. So all Karen was going to talk about was the UCARES frequencies. So those of you guys who are interested in getting involved with ARES, that's the Amateur Radio Emergency Service. You can check into any one of these nets on Tuesday nights, but also you can join UCARES. Keith, go ahead.
I was just going to mention that 14722 is actually not a UCARES repeater.
Oh, it's not a UCARES repeater.
Say that frequency again, just so everybody can hear it.
It's not a racing. Sorry.
The third one down,
The third one down is
that belongs to Eagle Mountain.
Eagle Mountain. Okay, so they don't use that for UCARES net?
Yeah, they do. No.
Or Nation Radio.
So they do use it.
For the UCARES net, generally not.
Not for the UCARES net, but for other things. Okay, well, now that we got that straightened out, just
It's one of those repeaters that UCARES has an agreement.
okay.
It is linkable into our system, but generally not linked in.
All right. You did not see this line. All right. But the rest of them, if you want to join UCARES, go to ucares.org. And these guys are a fun group, They've got if you want to learn how to use your equipment, your radio and so forth in a field, what?
One's in your other hand.
Oh, so excuse me. That's great. Can you hear me now? Is that better? Where was I? Before Joe interrupted me. So, ucares.org. That it? Okay. Thanks. Okay, I'm still up. All right. Next, we have a bunch of people who recently got licensed. If any of these names are here tonight, could you please stand? Anytime now. Anytime now. Okay. Here's your second chance. Anybody of this slide is here tonight. Can you please stand? There's a bunch. So we got a bunch of people. All right. Yay. Congratulations. Welcome to the world of ham radio. Or is it this one I should be talking into? So there you go. Now, aside from these guys, also there were some upgrades as well. These folks, if any of these people are here, could you please stand? Welcome. Good job. Good job, David. That's David right there. Thank you very much. Next is Jim. Time is yours. Let's get the thing switched over.
Hey, Noji, I was just wondering.
Yes, sir.
I think there have been some people invited that aren't normally part of the club.
Okay.
Maybe we could find out by the raise of hands if anyone is here that is not part of the club. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
2 behind you.
All right.
Right here.
So, just want to say, Phil, welcome you newcomers. And if you don't have your license, Noji's a great person to talk to, or any one of the other club members are a great person to talk to, so you can actually get involved in this group. And welcome anyway. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask the next hand next to you. Looks like you got it already.
Also, if you're not a member of the club,
Well, I guess I'm on. I'm just a little nervous and a lot grateful to allow me to present to you tonight. My name is Jim. I'm W7KLA. I guess my one claim to fame is that Noji allows me to run the new HamNet on Thursday evenings. I love working with new hams, and I love helping them along as much as I can. And in my short career, about 2.5 years in the hobby at this point, so it's a great thing. We're going to talk tonight about EchoLink. Some of you are familiar with this, and some are not. I hope that we have the opportunity to help educate some people that are not into it yet. I'll warn you right now, as soon as I get up in front of people, my brain evaporates, so I've got notes. But we're going to talk about EchoLink. I know there's been a lot of discussion over the years about EchoLink, computer-aided ham radio. Is it really radio if we're using computers and internet to link up to some of our communications? I'm not going to answer that question for you. What I want to do tonight is see if we can present some information and let you make your own decision on that. We're going to talk tonight a little bit about what is ham radio, or at least what do the authorities tell us that ham radio is. What is EchoLink? A little bit about the development and history of EchoLink and how that came about. We're going to talk about some of the requirements for EchoLink, hardware, software, and how that relates to the regulatory statutes. How do I get started with EchoLink? And hopefully we'll be able to get some of you get started with EchoLink and get you a little bit excited about it. I think it's a great vehicle for getting out and talking with people. We'll talk about some of the basic features and operation of it. When we go traveling, what do we need to take with us to get on to EchoLink and get on to the various repeaters? And then we'll hopefully we'll be able to put together a couple of demonstrations and show you what it looks like. Okay, what's ham radio? I've got several opinions of different people here about what ham radio is. Amateurs themselves, the ARRL, the federal government, and the FCC. In 1922, there were amateur radio operators were really new at the hobby, and they were worried about being pushed into the background by commercial radio operators, broadcasters. They issued a definition for themselves. They said they determined an amateur radio operator as, quote, one who operates a radio station, either transmitting or receiving, without pay or personal gain, merely for personal interest. And then another interesting note: the better known ham that we are known by was originally a derisive term that the commercial broadcasters gave us, but around the 1950s gained a lot more popularity and became a good thing. The ARRL, the American Radio Relay League, is the entity in the United States that helps us along with our hobby and kind of regulates amateur radio. Their statement: amateur radio is a popular hobby and service that brings people, electronics, and communication together. People use ham radio to talk across town, around the world, or even into space, all without the internet or cell phones. It's fun, social, educational, and can be a lifeline during times of need. Then the federal government, of course, like they always do, that likes to get their hands into things. They've got their own purpose defining the purpose of amateur radio. They've got 5 of them. I'm just going to mention a couple of them. Continuation and extension of the amateur's proven ability to contribute to the advancement of the radio art. Also, expansion of the existing reservoir within the amateur radio service of trained operators, technicians, and electronics experts. So, I'll also note the FCC themselves has made a statement where we strive to incentivize innovation and experimentation in the amateur radio bands. So in a nutshell, that's what ham radio is. And we know that it's a lot more than that in our everyday lives, but hopefully that gives us a basic idea of what the definition is. Okay, so then what is EchoLink and how does it compare to ham radio? Let's talk first a little bit about Voice over Internet Protocol, VoIP. I had to look this up. I've got a background in computer programming, and I've heard the term many times, but I had to look it up to understand a little bit about what it is. VoIP is basically computer-aided communications between computers over the internet. EchoLink has over 350,000 registered users in over 190 countries. And all of those are using VoIP. EchoLink is deeply integrated with radio operations. Let me get my notes here. EchoLink facilitates communication between amateur radio operators using both VoIP and traditional radio equipment. It allows licensed amateur radio operators to connect their transceivers to the internet by way of a computer or their device, enabling them to communicate with each other globally. So while EchoLink does utilize the internet for communication, it is still deeply integrated with real radio operations. Users can connect their radios to EchoLink-enabled nodes through EchoLink, which serve as gateways between the internet and the radio frequencies. This is a kind of a map I found of the EchoLink nodes, the repeaters, individual ham radio operators, and linked operators in the United States as of a few years ago. It is very wide and very similar worldwide. So to put it into a nutshell, if this is you as a ham radio operator right here at a computer, you install your EchoLink software on your computer, and the EchoLink therefore connects with a computer on the other end at somebody's node or their repeater, and by way of that link, you're able to transmit and receive through that repeater. And because you're going through the internet, that remote repeater can be anywhere in the world that is EchoLink enabled. And I think that's an amazing feat of strength right there.
Hey, Jim?
Yes, sir.
It should be noted that probably most people don't use their computer for this. Most people don't even have microphones for their computers. Most people use their phone or their iPads or things that have built-in microphones on them usually. It is more usual to see that used.
You're absolutely right.
You're probably going to end up getting to this, but just in case. In my situation, I changed call signs, and I now use my grandfather's sign, and my grandmother didn't have any of his passwords or anything like that, and so ever since I changed call signs, I haven't been able to use EchoLink. Do you happen to know how to work that or get past it so I can use EchoLink again? I
know EchoLink has the ability to change call signs. It's not something I've dealt with, but I know you can look it up and that they would.
If you just need a new registration code, there's a website that will generate it for you when you type in your call sign. It'll generate a new code for you, and it actually works.
Can you get that to me?
I just did a Google search and found it. But
okay.
When you register with EchoLink, they issue you a 6-digit numerical node code, and I think when you change call signs, that changes as well. So yeah. Any other questions or comments? Let's make this a discussion as we go, if you want to. In 2022, EchoLink was released. A man by the name of Jonathan Taylor, K1RFD, developed EchoLink. And he did this on his own and distributed that EchoLink software free of charge. His aim was to extend our ham's reach globally and to make that available to all of us. One of the things that he concentrated on greatly was being compliant with the regulations in whatever country that EchoLink was being used in, and right now that's just about any country in the world. So that's very important. I wanted to mention that Jonathan Taylor won the Dayton Hamvention's Special Achievement Award in 2003 for writing and developing EchoLink. He aimed to create a system that would enable hams to extend their reach globally. Overall, EchoLink has played a significant role in modernizing amateur radio communications by bridging the gap between internet-based communication and traditional radio operations. So, like I mentioned before, you make up your own minds if EchoLink is real radio or if it's not, or if it and how you'd like to use that.
Jim, this often comes up on our 7.6 net, as you know, and during our forum. It's usually somebody that's new that will ask a question about it, how to get to it, what it's about. It comes up a couple times a year. It should be noted that many people in the ham radio community are very aware of emergency preparedness and, emergency uses and things like that. It's a fun tool. This is a fun tool. Don't get me wrong. We've used it a lot, talked all over the world. It's a fun tool, but it's not a good emergency tool. If there is a bona fide emergency where there is power down, earthquake, possible repeaters down, and things like that, it may be worthless to you in that event. So it's a great tool. It's a great tool to have fun with, but don't lean on it as an emergency preparedness tool.
I think the key word there is a tool. It's something that when I was a general amateur radio operator, but I didn't have the equipment to get out on HF. And my first contacts around the world were through EchoLink. And it gave me some practice in speaking to people in other countries, in how the exchanges were to be and so forth. And so you're right, it's a wonderful tool. Yes?
I think one way to look at EchoLink is it's more for fun. If it's not necessarily something you have to have, it's more something to just have fun with while using ham radio. You use ham radio for emergency, like for more serious things, while EchoLink is just more your let's have some fun.
Any thoughts on that? Yes?
Well, another thing that comes to mind is the same argument is had in photography between film cameras and digital cameras. Which is real photography? And I think it's a ridiculous argument, but because it's about the art of creating. In this case, if you're using a modern radio, it has computer technology in the radio. So is it real radio when you use your radio? Because it's a computer with a microphone to it. And the only difference here is you may be connecting via the internet to another radio that's going to broadcast between antennas anyway, so it's still radio. You're just remotely controlling. How can you argue that that isn't radio?
Still got to have a license to use it.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
You have to have a viable internet for it to be used for anything purposeful within an emergency.
So, in my opinion, there's not I guess I can make this argument. There's not a lot of difference in going to a repeater in Bosnia via the internet and talking with people in Bosnia, or if I hop on a plane, fly to Bosnia, and with my handheld and talk directly to their repeater. Either way, it's a different way of making that trip, right? So yeah, I understand the arguments.
What are the license requirements?
EchoLink does require that you have a valid ham license. They require that you send them a copy of your FCC license before they will register you as an EchoLink user.
Technician, though.
Yeah, you only have to be a technician. Yeah. Okay, so yes. So what do we need to get started with EchoLink? What I think is one of the strong points of EchoLink is that we have to, very little equipment is required. A personal computer or your smartphone that is internet connected. It needs to have a sound card interface, and most computers these days that aren't 20 years old do have that, and even if they don't, you can buy those externally. You have to be able to speak and listen. Has to have a microphone and a speaker. My computer at home is old enough that it does not have a built-in microphone, so I went down to Walmart, paid $20 for a simple headset like this, and it gets me onto it's a USB connection, and I plug it into my computer, and I'm off and running. I'm talking and listening to people around the world. You need the EchoLink software. I'll give you a link a little later where you can download that. It is absolutely free. Just completely amazes me that the developers of EchoLink are able to do that. And then again, you need a valid amateur radio license before they will register you.
Hey, Jim.
Yes, sir.
So for those who don't have a license here, tell them a little bit about SDR so they can at least get involved and listen to ham transmissions until they get their license.
Good point. I'm not real versed on SDR. Who can tell us about that?
Well, I can, but I'll put the link on the board up here. If you Google Utah SDR.
What does SDR stand for?
Software Defined Radio. And we've had whole training programs on this, and it's archived with, what was his name? Clement. And it was about, what, a year and a half ago? So you can go back and get the whole thing. But if you just Google Utah SDR, it'll come up with Northern Utah SDR, and that's free. It's a receive only, and it's probably the best one in the whole United States. Yeah.
Just so everybody knows, the VHF Society has put the 147.12 repeater on an internet link, and all you have to do is send us your call sign, and we'll put you on if you're a member.
Okay.
And that ties into the intertie system, so you can.
Oh, that's cool. I was kind of wondering why the UHF, VHF stuff was on there, because I've never seen anybody use it, but I'm on there every day.
Yeah.
But, I'm on there every day for 10 meters and 20 meters and 40 meters and 80 to see what's going on. But if you Google Utah SDR, bring that up, you can't really do anything wrong in that website, but there's a little zone there to put your call sign in. You don't have to put your call sign in, but if you don't want your IP address known to the entire world, you'll put that in. You know the site? Anyway.
Yeah, but not with the dry marker.
There's a blue one right there. Anyway, sorry, very, very fun thing to use. Very fun thing to use. I've made many connections around the world where I couldn't hear on my home antenna. I was listening to the SDR, and they could hear me. And I was transmitting on my radio and listening to the SDR of Japan and Indonesia and all kinds of stuff. But anyway.
Yeah, what's amazing about SDR is that you can receive, you can hear people transmitting on any of the bands, 160 all the way down to 2 meters, 70 centimeters.
You can be heard. We were on 10 meters last night. You couldn't force 1,000 watts into that 10-meter band last night because 10 meters just was so close. So it depends on propagation and everything else.
Yep.
a few days before you can talk to anywhere in the world on 1080.
Oh, yeah, yeah. It depends on the day.
Yeah.
Couple of questions. Since it's a worldwide where you're communicating, is English, do you hear their languages, or is English like kind of like the universal language when you're on there?
You're talking about EchoLink? Well, let's back up just a little bit. We know that that the only requirement for a ham radio operator anywhere in the world is to identify in English. Otherwise, they can communicate in their own language. EchoLink allows you to. It has settings, and it allows you to tell EchoLink which languages you're willing to accept.
So I was thinking you have Google Translate.
Oh.
You're on the computer.
Oh, there's a smart idea.
Actually, the world really loves practicing their English on us. And so whenever there's a DX going on, they're pointing their antennas at, and they're calling for us in Northern America, and they want to practice their English. I was talking to Russia last night. I was talking to Argentina this afternoon. They all want to practice their English. And so don't worry about that. If they're speaking English, answer them.
Yep. The nice thing about EchoLink is you can list all of the countries. You can say all, or you can tell it which countries you'd like to talk to in which languages. So it's pretty versatile. Here's the link. If you go to echolink.org, there's an amazing site there. Let me see if I've got, there it is. This is their web page where you can download their software. The developers have done an amazing job with this website. Just everything, including the kitchen sink, I think, on how to use it, on what it does, on support, and so forth. So let me back up here. So what you do is you download EchoLink, you install that on your computer, and then you go to that page, and there will be places where you can go to register for an account. They'll ask you to validate your FCC license with them by sending usually a PDF form of your license to them. And I don't remember how long it took for them to get back to me. I think it was only a couple of days, and I had a node number from them. We do receive a unique 6-digit node number, which is basically just like our call sign. Every link in the world has a unique number. What I thought was interesting, I didn't know this until I started researching for this. EchoLink does issue vanity node numbers, either 5 digits or 4 digits long. They do cost. If you want a 5-digit number, vanity number, it'll cost you $15. If you want a 4-digit number, it'll cost you $40. And considering that EchoLink is free, I think that's a pretty good deal. And they do use that money to support the application. Once you're in EchoLink, go in and explore the features. They have a wonderful tour feature in there that takes you through all of the aspects and lets you learn as you go. Then you connect to a node, and as always, as ham operators, we operate responsibly. When we're on the air on EchoLink, just as when we're on the air any other way, we are courteous, we are accurate, and we try and keep keep it civil. In EchoLink, there are 3 types of nodes. There is a single user node, which is what we are as individual users. At home, I've got my computer hooked up to EchoLink as a single user, and I can go anywhere in the world with that. There are linked nodes, and let me make sure I get this information correct. Links are stations with computers running EchoLink that are interfaced to a radio receiver. In other words, I've got my computer here, I've got my transceiver here, and they are linked together so that people coming into my node can use my radio. And then there are repeaters. which are stations with computers running EchoLink interfaced with an FM repeater, like our 7.6 repeater up here on the hill. These stations are designated with a call sign and with the -R in their name. There are also conference nodes in EchoLink that act as special interest chat rooms. They allow multiple connections to those nodes. They act as nets. There are many nets on EchoLink that you can check into and participate in. And they can even include other conferences.
Jim, can a single user talk with a single user?
Yes. A single user node can talk to another single user node radio operator. It's kind of tossing the dice. It's like here, you know, if you go on the repeater and you ask for a particular operator, he may be on, he may not. But yes.
How do you link the computer to your radio?
Let me find that.
We're going to pull you in 17 different directions tonight.
I've got that written down here somewhere. Let me find it. Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's a mode in EchoLink called sysop. There's individual user and then there's system operator. If you're a system operator, you have to have that interface between your computer and your transceiver. It's special interface device which connects your radio equipment to your computer. A lot of them are available. A lot of people build their own from kits and other things, but it does take some special equipment to make that connection. Not something I've looked into very deeply. Questions or comments? Okay.
I'm guessing that link is probably like a programming kit. USB to audio jack, like you program your radio with. That would connect the radio to your computer. The software knows how to talk to that.
Yes, but it's more than that. It's actually a physical. Yeah, it's actually a physical software hardware device. Okay, so we're going to look at these a little bit closer. Okay, we talked about modes. We're all in single user mode, most of us. The system operator mode requires that additional equipment and makes your rig accessible to other EchoLink users. Okay, so let's look at EchoLink itself a little bit, some of the features, and hopefully we can get a little bit of a demonstration going here. So in EchoLink, let me close. There are basically some features that we can look at. You can find nodes by location. So if I open up location, basically the different areas of the world. If we look, for example, in Africa and go to Morocco, there are 5 nodes currently active in Morocco. Two repeaters, 2 links, and this is an individual that's currently on EchoLink. The other way that we can look for nodes are by node type. For example, conferences. The conference is always preceded by an asterisk and an asterisk at the end. One that I really like is called Do Drop In. Let's see if we can drop in on them.
Do you communicate by texting or actually speaking?
There is a instant message feature right down here in the bottom corner. Let me squeeze this down a little bit. There we go. Right down here in the bottom corner, once we are linked to a particular node. I'm not sure why it's not letting me connect here.
Those conference nodes you'll see up there, you can, like the one we use every week, the star K7P star.
Yeah.
Phil has got that one set up for to work on the Western reflector and can handle up to 500 people getting into it at once. And some of these you'll see 18 or 50 or something. I saw a couple of them on there. And you'll see a number behind it. And so the conference nodes can handle that many, a number of people, connections, yeah, on that particular conference mode.
How does it connect? That's what he wants to know.
That's a good question.
So here's actually K7PB that you were talking about. Usually in EchoLink, all I have to do is double click on that.
And your Wi-Fi connected?
Yeah, we're not. You got Wi-Fi down there?
Well, it's
It says I've got internet access.
Yeah, it looks like you got one bar though that.
Oh, maybe that's the problem. Okay, well.
You see it says 0 to 500 there?
Yeah.
So, you know, we typically have 3 or 4 on there, but you can handle up to 500.
Yeah. So each conference node has different capabilities.
Now, we started with this initially, asking that question, the difference between EchoLink and radio. This conference stuff, does that involve any radios on the other end, or what are we talking about? Just kind of like internet chat rooms?
A conference node is a repeater that is connected with multiple other nodes. That's why they can get so many connections, but it still is over the internet.
It's like a giant repeater.
A giant repeater, yes.
And one more question. As far as like third-party communication, is it just your, I mean, if you're starting from the computer here, what, and as long as you, I keep thinking in terms of, I got a kid who thinks he knows everything in the world, but he wants to be in ham radio and doesn't have any desire to jump in the middle of it. But is there anything that restricts him from jumping on my computer and going off into the world? Because I mean, this part isn't regulated here, is it? It's to another country. Where's the regulation there outside the United States?
Well, what if it's your transceiver, your radio at home? What stops somebody else from jumping in there with your call sign? Same thing. It does
identify them.
Basically, your computer that you control becomes your radio.
Yeah.
And you, as an FCC licensed amateur, are required to maintain control over the device that is connecting to a radio that transmits. So you have a responsibility to take care of your computer so that nobody else can transmit illegally.
If when you use the term illegally, is that truly illegal, or is it?
It is.
A regulation in?
If a non-licensed person gets on your computer and connects to a repeater that transmits on the air, they're breaking the law according to the FCC.
Are you operating as the control operator though if you're with them?
Yeah. If you're with them, that's fine.
Because then you're controlling.
That's the same as if you had your radio on the air and you had your unlicensed friend at your house talking on your radio. It's the same circumstance.
Distance that you have to be from the radio.
How connected to you?
We just got connected. So you heard that tone. So that means I'm connected to station WH6QV up here in Payson, Utah. So now whether there's somebody there listening is another question. But what? Pardon?
That's me.
That's you. So.
And in the room.
So let's. So we're going to look at this just a little bit later, but the PTT button, like you have a PTT button on your handheld, on your computer, it's your space bar. So what I'm going to do is hold down my space bar and speak. This is W7KLA looking for a contact in Payson, Utah. Okay.
Good evening, this is WCQV here in Pleasant Grove, Utah.
W86QV, thanks for the response and the demo. Very much appreciated. 7.3 W7KLA.
He's got a little bit different thing going on his phone, where you touch it and it brings up, looks like a microphone. I've seen people get on the 7.6 quite a bit, and they're trying to figure out, I can tell they're on because they identify it. They can't figure out how to make their audio work.
Yeah.
And it's usually they got to touch it, see the microphone, and then talk. And so I know that that's probably what's happening, unless they have their transmit volume way down or whatever, but Jedi and I tried to help somebody the other day, and we couldn't get the guy to come back. Over and over and over again, he kept chiming in, and we couldn't get him to talk. Well, I figured he didn't know how to touch that button.
So here's something I think is really cool. We always wonder what we sound like on the other end, because once I've got that PTT pressed, I can't hear myself. I can only hear, only the other person can hear me. So I can go to connect to test server.
Welcome to the EchoLink test server. This server records your transmissions and plays them back to help you adjust your transmitted and received audio. Please feel free to connect as often as you like.
This is W7KLA testing my computer.
This is W7KLA testing my computer.
And they play it back to you. I think that's really cool.
You can see the lag time there? It's got that little, couple of second lag time, and that's the reason on our nets we leave space for the known EchoLink users. We have a guy that comes in from Price every week. We leave him a couple of seconds because we know he's coming in on EchoLink.
Could be on Wi-Fi.
Hey, Jim, can you connect to the 7.6?
W7SP-R.
Has shown how it works?
Okay, so let's go to station and connect to.
Let's hear what it sounds like on a radio.
And I need either a call sign or a node number. One more time.
W7.
Yeah, can I just ask a clarifying question? So this little interchange that we had before, none of that is
LDN connected.
correct.
It is. It's a cell phone.
It's over the internet. From his phone.
Okay. So this is W7KLA.
Z1JEI.
Z1JEI, you sound a little busy.
So we're going through the 7.6 repeater right now.
Do you have a better microphone?
Better than what? I think this is great.
Remember that you bought a headset.
Yeah, I'm not gonna mess with the headset right now.
So I kind of looked away. So you put in the call sign, and then what did you put in the connect to? What did you put in there?
And then I just said connect. Yeah, either a call sign or a node number. You don't need both. Yeah. Let's see. What else did we want to? Oh, now that we can connect, let's. Yeah. Okay. So and it lets that node know that I connected and that I disconnected.
So what does it sound like when you text? Is it the computer that talks for you?
No, it just sends text over from the. I've got a little screen right down here. Let me connect. Tell you what, let's go to North America. See if we can find. Let's go to California. See what we can find.
The node you are calling does not accept connections from your node.
Okay.
Please contact your node operator for more information.
Let's try Grass Valley. I've contacted them before.
If you run across one like that that says it won't accept your node, what you have to do to get them to accept it?
Don't know. I haven't tried. I just move on. Yeah.
Probably might have their computer on. Any number of things.
Radio or can contact them?
So right now we're connected to Grass Valley AB6LI, and in fact I was talking to him this afternoon. Let's see if he's there. AB6LI. This is W7KLA. Anyone listening?
John, try to come back.
Yeah, I'm here.
Hey, good evening. Good evening. We are in the middle of a demonstration for EchoLink here in Lehi, Utah. How are you tonight?
No, we are good.
Don't be Joe.
All right. Well, I appreciate the comeback. We're going to move on a little bit here, but I appreciate the contact, and you have a great evening. Okay. The name on my end is Jim.
All right, Jim, you have Mark here, Grass Valley. I just have a little bit of snow on the ground here, not much. Nothing of a big deal. It's supposed to get down in the freezing temperature supposedly, so but nothing that we're not used to. Anyway, you have a good evening, 7798 Grass Valley.
All right. Thank you for the cue. So I'll let you go. This is W7KLA 73. So that's how it's done.
He was clearly on a radio, talking into a link that was then forwarding it over the internet to us, correct?
Yeah. He was talking to a repeater.
Right.
It's not a repeater.
Yeah. So I was talking to a repeater in Grass Valley, California. Yeah. So the connection between that repeater and us here is the internet. Yeah, EchoLink. Yeah.
Can more than one station connect to a node at a time?
If it's a conference node.
So I just want to make sure everybody understood that. As a single user or a node, you can only connect one person at a time. So when we connected to the 7.6 repeater up here, that prevents anybody else from connecting to it. That's why we use the conference node on the Wednesday net, so that multiple people can connect to the conference node instead of tying up the repeater.
Is that
They're throwing one more little rule they have. If you jump on one of those single nodes like that, the rule on EchoLink is you can only monitor 10 minutes, and then you have to disconnect. They don't want somebody just camped out on their link, tying up their repeater. So they have a 10-minute usage monitoring. So if you're not getting anybody in whatever, just get off their repeater and let somebody else have a chance.
It's a party line.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Jim?
Yes, sir. Oh, time? Okay. Okay, well, that basically concludes everything. Yes, sir.
I've been told, and I've used this before, that when you start to transmit it, squeeze your microphone, just wait a second, because it takes a while for the repeaters to jump out together, and then you can go.
Same is true for EchoLink.
Chopping off a little bit.
Yeah.
Wham.
Yeah. Same thing here. Okay, well, let's leave it at that. I appreciate everybody's comments and participation. This has been fun tonight. So back to, is it real radio? You answer that for yourselves. It's communication. I know that. But what I will say is it is a wonderful tool. It's a wonderful vehicle for a mere, I shouldn't say mere, for an amateur radio operator, for a technician to talk around the world with people to get that experience. And I just so glad it was there when I was a tech, wanting to make some distant contacts. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Jim. We appreciate your time and putting that together and presenting that to us. And again, another round for Jim. He did a great job. I think next is we're going to have Brent come up here and do draw for door prizes.
Okay, so here's what we're going to do because we only have about 5 minutes left. I'm going to do 5 prizes plus the J-pole. So, is that okay if we do 6?
You do whatever you like.
Okay, so we're going to do 6. We got the Puckrist J-pole. And again, all prizes, there's no main prize. So if you get your number called out, just come up and take it. We got the J-pole, a 2-way handheld transceiver, Baofeng. My favorite, the child correctional device. Yep. A 7.3 hat. ALL, be quiet, Carl. ALL membership. Before I slap you with it. And then this is on compliments of our hostess tonight. A Think jerky grass feed beef stick container.
Grass-fed.
Or what?
Grass-fed.
Grass-fed, whatever. Grass-fed, whatever. Yeah, healthy alternative. It's healthy food disguised as ham radio snacks. Okay. So I was gonna have.
You need to hold your ticket for you.
My ticket. Okay, so I was gonna have one of our hostess kids help us out tonight, but since they are too shy to come up, I'll just quickly do this myself. So I guess if you don't get your number called, just blame Carl. He's the one that. What? Nate? Oh, Nate! Nate, do you want to come up and help, dude? Okay, yay! Thank you, Noji. All right. So, if you don't get your ticket called, it's Nate's fault, not mine. Okay, Nate. Just give him a really good shuffle in your hand. Okay, can you talk really loud and announce the last 3 numbers of the ticket?
681.
681.
Oh, look. But mine is 5681.
You count anyway.
It counts.
This is it, yes?
Yes, that is it.
This is it. Look, I have won.
Okay, do you want the J-pole or one of these other?
Oh, this looks really good.
All right, hold up, Matt. Hold up.
Only for a
This one's right there.
Is this vegan? Wait a minute. Is this vegan?
Go get out. Out.
What?
If you say vegan one more time, you're out.
Six, 9, 6.
Oh!
Someone's getting extra chocolate tonight.
All right, hold up. There we go.
My son loves me.
6, 9, 8.
Oh, that's right here. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, we still got the Puckrist J-pole, and he chose the ALL. Okay.
There we go.
Okay, we still have the 7.3 hat, the child correctional device, and the Puckrist J-pole.
Six, 5, 6.
656. Somebody was here for you.
Oh, Gary.
656.
V.
I'm looking for a hat.
Looking for a hat? I kind of knew you were going to go for the hat.
All right, Gary. Look it up here, Gary. There we go.
Hold on.
All right, so we have the child correctional device or the J-pole. Oh, wait, hold on. Drop it. Okay. This J-pole comes with free installation by any agent of your choice. But there's only one agent in our club, that'd be Noji. So it comes with free installation from Noji. Okay.
And you're wrong. The child correction device and the Brett correction device.
Okay. Yep.
704.
All right. All right. Oh, make sure you get your picture.
Hold up, here we go.
Smile.
Okay, and the child correctional device goes to. Oh, we're not doing those two.
697.
697.
697. Going twice. Going once. Going twice. Okay.
Six 9-5. It's me.
Is that you?
It's me.
Hey, a child gets the child correctional device. Hey, wait. You have to get one right here.
Okay.
Hey!
For those who are interested in a little dinner and some more eyeball quesos, we're going
Before I
over
leave it,
Taco
before I
Bell,
block off the thing again.
parking lot. Clean up, let's not leave a mess for our gracious hosts. Once again, thank you for Sage and Plow for accommodating us at the last minute, and thank you all for coming out. And thank you to Trevor for doing such a great job every month on this broadcasting.